characteristics of matter. Yes. Next one is characteristics of particles of matter. The first characteristic is nothing but particles of matter have spaces between them. So for this, the best evidence is what we have seen, that the salt dissolving in water. The best example, the water molecules have spaces between them. In between the spaces, in between that voids, these solute particles will dissolve in it. Okay. This activity is the best evidence for particles of matter have space between them. Okay, next property is, next characteristic is particles of matter have continuously moving. Particles of matter have continuously moving. The best thing what I have shown you, the lighted
Brownian motion.
Incense stick. Yes, Brownian motion is an evidence to this diffusion of matter. Incense sticks, lighted incense stick, and cooking food in the kitchen, how the smell transfers from one room to the other room or to the corner of your house. How we transfer? Why? Because when we are giving heat energy, the kinetic energy of the particles will become more faster. They'll collide each other, and these particles will combine with the gaseous particle in the atmosphere, so that they transfer from one junction of the or one corner of the room to the other corner of the room. Okay, what is diffusion? The intermixing of particles of two or more different substances on their own is called diffusion. It's called diffusion. Okay, so the rate of kinetic energy increases with increasing temperature. See, here take the potassium copper sulfate crystals. What is the color of copper sulfate crystals, children? What is the color of copper sulfate crystals?
No.
Blue. Bhumika? Yes, good. Bhumika, it's blue. Blue in color, and you have taken one scoop of or one spatula full of the copper sulfate solution and add in the beaker. It dissolves. When you give the heat energy, or when you take the same quantity of copper sulfate in hot water, immediately the kinetic energy of the particles is what? Because when you give the heat energy, the particles will move at a great speed. Yes, they strike the walls of the beaker, so that when you add the copper sulfate, immediately there will be a more gas. So easily they dissolve and easily they undergo diffusion. Understood? So the rate of kinetic energy or the rate of diffusion increases with increase in temperature. Yes. So if the incense stick is placed at the corner of the room, without or unlit incense stick, so that we need to go near to the incense stick and we need to sit over there. Then only we'll feel the smell. Am I right? When we light the incense stick with fire, what happens? It starts burning and the particles from the incense stick releases, and they combine with what? They combine with gaseous particles, so that the kinetic energy will be more, so that they diffuse with each other by their own. Yes? By their own, so that they transfer, the molecules transfer from one corner of the room to the other corner of the room. Understood? So that the diffusion increases with increase in temperature.
Ma'am, and what about pressure?
Pressure is inversely proportional to the temperature change. So we'll see the pressure. Today we are going to discuss about only the temperature part. So how pressure plays a role in the physical property of matter, that we'll see in the next session. Okay? Always the temperature is inversely proportional to what? Pressure. Okay, the best example is LPG cylinders, liquefied petroleum gas. Okay, in liquefied petroleum gas, when they fill the liquid petroleum gas in the cylinders, the temperature will be less and they increase the pressure. When they decrease the temperature, when they increase the pressure, then gaseous LPG converts to liquid state. That we are going to see.
Ma'am, I meant to say that kinetic energy increases on increasing the pressure, that I meant.
No, yes. When we give the pressure, increase or decrease in the kinetic energy, it also depends on the pressure. Yes. Pressure plays a major role to convert the matter into different states. Understood?
Okay, ma'am.
Anna, is your doubt clarified?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Next. So we have discussed about the diffusion of matter, and other one is Brownian motion. Brownian motion was given by Robert Brown in the year 1827. So in the year 1827, Robert Brown has given the best evidence for the movement of the particles is completely based upon the zigzag movement of the particles is known as the Brownian motion. Finally, he concluded that the best evidence, he has taken the pollen grains. He suspended a very little or tiny pollen grains in water so that they floats on the surface of water. He has taken 1 or 2 drops of the sample and he placed under a microscope. What he observed the zigzag motion of the particles. What he observed? He observed the zigzag motion of the pollen grains. Okay, is that the zigzag motion of the pollen grains is completely depends upon the pollen grain? No, it doesn't depend upon the pollen grain. It depends upon the water molecules on which the pollen grains are placed. So this is the water molecules. Consider my hand as a water molecule, and these are nothing but the pollen grains. I have placed the pollen grains on my hand. Yes, consider, just imagine. Okay, when the duster is moving. How this duster is moving? Because of my hand. Because of my palm is moving, so that the duster is moving. We have considered this as water, and this is nothing but the pollen grains. Okay, the one more example he has given, it's nothing but a canopy. Canopy is nothing but when the room is dark, completely dark. So when there is a small gap to enter, to allow the air to, or to allow the light to pass through. So from the light, we can see the dust particles randomly moving. Is that the dust particles are moving by their own? No, because they are present on the surface of gaseous particles. So these, when the gaseous particles are moving on the gaseous particles, dust particles are also moving. Brownian movement is especially observed in case of liquids and gases. How they observe? They observe by liquids and gases. Understood? Understood? Here, what are the final conclusion by learning about the Brownian motion? Brownian motion and diffusion considered under continuous movement of the particles. Okay, the particles of matter are continuously moving. The two best evidences are nothing but diffusion, intermixing of particles by their own, and the other one is Brownian motion, that is zigzag motion of the particles. Okay, particles of matter are continuously moving. Matter is made of tiny particles, and the third conclusion is nothing but Brownian motion increases on increase in temperature. Understood? Because the kinetic energy of the water molecule increases with the increase in temperature, even with the gaseous particles also. The best example for the gaseous particle, incense stick or food cooked in the kitchen. Yes? And example for the liquids, copper sulfate. If you have taken the hot water, easily dissolves. Understood? Understood or not?
What were you saying? Gaseous particle.
Gaseous. Gas. The particles in the form of gas.
Okay, gaseous particles. Okay,
gaseous particles. Gaseous particles or gaseous whatever. Okay.
And I have a doubt.
Yes. Bhumika asked.
Ma'am, you said that, ma'am, that Brownian motion exists in liquids and gases. So, ma'am, it means that Brownian motion doesn't exist in solids.
Solids, again, I have said you. Solids, they based upon the force of attraction. Again, we can interrelate this concept with the force of attraction. Okay. If the solids are less denser, then it's not completely restricted to liquids and gases. Okay. If the solids are too hard, if this is a solid, when I place the solid on my table, is that the duster move by its own? Is that the duster move by its own?
Ma'am, no.
No, because it is heavier in nature. this solid is lighter in nature, so that we can see anything on the surface. So the solid will move. Even on the solid, we can see the particles moving.
Okay,
Understood?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Understood.
I think you have asked this question in the previous session.
Yes, ma'am. But I was having a doubt because, ma'am, you said that Brownian motion. Actually, Robert Brown experimented with pollens in water. Explain that Robert Brown done the experiment with pollen grains in water.
Those are evidence. Yes, what he has done with the examples for the liquids and gases. Okay, he has taken main bases. One is with liquid and the other main base is with the gas. Okay, so when we believe that the things with the help of evidence only we believe. Yes, and we can't say that chemistry only stick with restricted. You use that word restricted. Chemistry is not having any restrictions. Maybe. Now there is no evidence of that. Maybe in future there will be some more evidences.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes,
Yes. So that we can't say that it is restricted to this only. That's why the temperature also, when we use that room temperature, we use approximately that word. Okay. Why we use sometimes approximately? Because there is no evidence to restrict to a particular experimental level. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Very good, Bhumika. You have asked very good question. Now your doubt got clarified, or once again?
No, ma'am, clarified, ma'am, understood.
Yes, good. So next property, so that we wind up with this and we'll go with the new session. Good. So particles of matter attract each other. So we have discussed about this, why the particles of matter attract each other. Why? Because there is a force of attraction between the particles. When we consider solids, here chalk is one solid, ice cubes and iron mill. All the three are solid. Simply we'll say that the force of attraction in solids are very strong. But there is a chance, like, it depends upon the matter, what we consider. So here chalk, ice cubes and iron mill, when we consider the chalk, it's having less force of attraction when compared to ice cubes. When we see that ice cubes is having less force of attraction when compared to iron mill. How we know that it is having less force of attraction? When we beat the three samples with hammer. When we beat with the hammer, chalk is easily broken into powder. It's not why? Because the chalk piece is very brittle in nature. Yes, chalk is very brittle in nature. When we consider ice cubes, what we considered ice cubes? Ice cubes is having more force of attraction when compared to chalk. And here iron mill, very high when compared to more force of attraction. Intermolecular force is very strong in case of iron, so that when we continuously beat also, it's what we can say, its dimensions increases. It spreads, malleability, it spreads, but it can't break into pieces. Yes, children? See the difference in though all the three are solids, see the differences. Then we are going to so finally we say that the strength of the force of attraction varies from one kind of matter to the other kind of matter.